Welcome to The Peak, where becoming your best self is our goal. I'm Mike Mittman. On this week's episode, businesses come together to support nonprofits. Some of the most environmentally friendly places in eastern Pennsylvania, and the importance of physical therapy at St. Luke's. All that and more coming up on The Peak. Every year, the Volunteer Center of the Lehigh Valley challenges businesses to complete projects benefiting our nonprofit community. Take a look.
I think that all of us who live here in the Lehigh Valley are very fortunate because volunteering and giving back, it's part of the culture that all of us have. The Volunteer Challenge is probably the most important part of the Volunteer Center. It is the largest fundraiser, but what sets it apart is that it combines the needs of the nonprofits with corporate teams who are ready to jump in and make those projects a reality.
Our mission is here to really provide capacity resources to the nonprofit community, and we do that by connecting with businesses, individuals, families, all around programming and education. We've always said the challenge is a triple win. It's a great win for the nonprofits to get the sustainable projects. It's a great win for the teams to have that opportunity to come together and do team building, be out in the community, make new connections with the nonprofit partner. And it's also, obviously, it's a win for us because this is our biggest fundraiser. There's a few teams that will go back to the same nonprofit every year because they've created that partnership.
Barry Ice and Associates has been participating in the Volunteer Challenge for at least 5 or 6 years now, always with the Salvation Army in Allentown. They work to help people in the community, they like to enrich their communities, and they're focused on service. And that is one of our core values at ICIT, along with team ownership and balance. And service is encouraged from the CEO on down to the newest employee.
We are partnering this year with Community Bike Works. They're located in Allentown, Pennsylvania, and the reason that we decided to partner with them this year is to do their garden restoration project. They teach youth in the summer about gardening and how to create healthy eating habits, and so we're just revitalizing their garden and getting it ready for them to use for their summer program. I would tell somebody to participate in the Volunteer Challenge in order to learn more about the nonprofits that are in the Lehigh Valley and to find different ways to volunteer and to give back to those who may be in need and really see what others offer out there in terms of community involvement and volunteering projects.
The Volunteer Challenge is incredibly important because it partners our corporate entities here in the Lehigh Valley with nonprofits that could use their help. They might not have the time, the manpower, or the budget to complete some of these projects that have been on their bucket list for a while now. And it really engages the corporate entities to bring out volunteers, commit some money towards it, commit some time towards it, but get into their community to know these nonprofits and help them out as best we can.
And what I'm really looking forward to is I can't wait for Challenge Night to see those projects, to see those individuals that worked so hard this year and to see all those dreams become a reality. It's going to be an exciting night, but most importantly, it's going to make an impact that will be sustained and lasting for our community.
Volunteering feels great and nonprofits do so much. It's important to support their mission. Now let's check in with Holly from Discover Lehigh Valley as she explores sustainability in the valley.
So Sustainability has been not only a goal but a way of life for people in Lehigh Valley. Community groups as well as local organizations, colleges and universities have rallied to build a brighter future. Here are some options to stay environmentally friendly in Lehigh Valley. Starting with shopping secondhand. You'll be amazed by what you find at Easton Antique Emporium. The 10,000 square foot antique mall sells all kinds of treasures, including mid-century modern, country, and Victorian styles to collectible items. Over 30 vendors provide the selection of antiques at this shop, plus a selection of live edge tables will wow your dinner guests and become a staple in your home. Open every day but Monday and Tuesday, you'll find what you're looking for here that you won't find anywhere else. It's funny how unique finds and sustainability just seem to go together like that. You know what else goes together? A beautiful morning at the farmer's market. On a beautiful sunny Saturday morning, there's nothing quite like browsing an outdoor farmer's market. The Easton Farmers Market takes center stage to welcome farmers and vendors offering homemade goods and locally sourced produce you have to see for yourself. The Easton Farmers Market is the oldest continuous open-air market in America. You'll find pasture-raised eggs, vegan ice cream, local wine and honey, and more. Grab a reusable market bag with compartments for fresh baguettes, wine, and flowers. Plus, it's entertaining. Live music, market chef demos, and kids' activities provide a vibrant scene for your weekend fun. The market draws on its deep roots and offers visitors a one-of-a-kind shopping experience and community spirit. It's open May to December, so come dressed for the weather. Next stop is the Attic in Bethlehem. You can tell from the name just what the motif is here, but it's where people take their gently worn vintage clothing and accessories to consign for a wardrobe on a budget. Get retro looks for less and recycle. It's a breeze. Styles are always changing and coming back, so stock up on trends you love for when inspiration hits. Open daily, you can design and consign your outfits at your convenience. Feed your mind, body, and spirit with eco-friendly offerings at every corner of Lehigh Valley. Your pocket and your planet will thank you. I'm Holly Harrer with Discover Lehigh Valley, and that's Peek at the Valley.
Thanks, Holly. It's great to see that we have so many environmentally conscious businesses in the Lehigh Valley. Up next, we'll visit the Trolley Barn in Quakertown and check out a healthier way to enjoy our favorite dishes. Stay tuned. You're watching The Peak. St. Luke's partnered with the Trolley Barn to show you that going out to eat can be both healthy and delicious. Take a look.
Hello, I'm Dr. Cynthia Martin with St. Luke's University Health Network, and I'm here at the Trolley Barn with Jeremy from Two Rivers Brewing, and today we're going to put a healthier twist on a delicious recipe.
Today, Cynthia, we'll be making our vegan black bean and garbanzo bean burger topped with a vegan sriracha aioli.
Awesome, let's get started.
To make this burger, we'll start with the sauce. The vegan sriracha is made from aquafaba, ground mustard, salt, garlic, apple cider vinegar, lemon juice, sugar, sriracha sauce, and blended oil.
It's starting to thicken up, almost looking like a thin mayonnaise.
It's important you pour that in slowly, I guess.
Slowly, in the beginning especially.
And if you're doing this at home and don't have an immersion blender,
You could just use a regular blender, or if you're got enough elbow grease, a bowl and a whisk.
Okay.
I might have went a little heavy on the garlic, but
Oh, no such thing. Are you kidding? That tastes exactly like mayonnaise. No way!
Now that we have our vegan sriracha sauce ready, we can get started on the burgers. This vegan burger is made from black beans, garbanzo beans, various spices and herbs, yellow onions, cilantro, oil, and hot sauce.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put our beginning ingredients in the blender.
Once our oil, hot sauce, spices, and herbs are blended up, we can pour our black beans and garbanzo beans into a bowl and mix them all together. Black beans contain antioxidants, fiber, protein, and carbohydrates, which make them nutritionally powerful. And garbanzo beans are a rich source of vitamins, minerals, and fiber as well.
We're gonna go back to our food processor. We're gonna kind of pulse it. We don't wanna pulverize the beans, because then it'll end up being a little too mushy. So we want to keep like a little bit of, you know, what they say, tooth to it.
Once your mixture has the correct amount of tooth to it, it's time to start cooking.
I'm gonna put down a little oil here. Let's plop it right down. Takes about 10 minutes, but in the meantime, we can slice some tomatoes. Looks perfect. Gotta serve it with a couple pickles. And there we have it. Here's our vegan black bean and garbanzo bean burger, topped with our vegan sriracha aioli.
It looks amazing, and thank you for sharing this healthier recipe with us. I can't wait to try it, and you should come try it too.
That looks delicious. Thanks for sharing the recipe, Two Rivers Brewing. Next, let's hear from Ashley and her interview with Donald Outing from Lehigh University as he talks about his favorite restaurants in our area.
Welcome to another episode of Season 5 of Unscripted with Russo. I'm Ashley Russo, and I am being joined today by Donald Outing, the Vice President for Equity and Community at Lehigh University, and also a fellow board member with me on United Way of the Greater Lehigh Valley. So Donald, I'm so excited to have this opportunity to chat with you in more detail, just the two of us, because we're often on a Zoom with like 30 boxes. So welcome.
Well, thank you, Ashley. I'm very honored and excited to be here as well.
Thank you so much for your incredible military service and all that you have done to transition your life from mathematician to doing things with diversity and community and equity that are just so incredible. And now you're doing it here at Lehigh University in the Lehigh Valley. So tell me about how you made the transition from West Point and a career in the military to being here at Lehigh.
Well, as I told you, Bob Caslin selected me as his inaugural Chief Diversity Officer back in 2013-ish is when I started, officially probably 2014. As I was doing the work, right around 2016, realizing that Caslin's going to retire at some point, also recognizing that, you know, by this time I've retired from the military and I'm a civil servant at this time, and decided, you know, I want to leave public service. I put it out there to some search firms that I was interested in looking at other opportunities in higher education. It was 2016 during the Patriot League conference that Lehigh was hosting at West Point that I met John Simon. John Simon, 14th president at Lehigh at the time. And it was hearing his vision that inspired me. I want to be at Lehigh to help this president fulfill this vision that he sees for Lehigh.
Tell me about the Valley at large. What do you like to do here? What have you found? You know, you spent time in New York, you spent time in Baltimore. What is it about the Lehigh Valley you love? What do you do in your free time?
Eat.
Well, I have to tell you, Donald, I moved here long before there were about 3 good restaurants in 2005. So
I'm going to tell you,
now it's unbelievable, right?
I'm coming up on 5 years, my 5-year anniversary on February 1st here in the Valley, and I'm still discovering new places. The restaurants here are amazing. It's rare that I'll try out a new spot and it doesn't have a phenomenal chef back in the kitchen. So I'm a big foodie. So I love the food here and the food choices here in the Valley, but then I also love to play golf. That was another thing I was surprised by. I mean, you can't kick a can down the road without running into a golf course, a nice golf course.
Thanks for joining us on Unscripted.
Thank you, Ashley. This was wonderful.
You're listening to Unscripted with Russo. Until next time.
For the full interview, visit youtube.com/thepeaktv. And don't forget to subscribe to Unscripted with Russo on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Surgery can be tough on our bodies, but physical therapy can help get us back on our feet pain-free. See how St. Luke's helped one woman improve her mobility post-surgery.
I first started noticing pain in my hip early in this year. Had thought I maybe pulled something, but it just progressively got worse pretty quickly to the point where I was limping. That took me to the doctor initially.
I first met Susan when she came to me because she had hip pain. And after further evaluation, we were able to see that, you know what, she did have some arthritic changes that were causing her to have pain. So basically the diagnosis was hip arthritis. We tried to start doing some sort of conservative measures, including injections. After a while, she said, you know, we can't do this anymore. And that's something that I usually want the patient to kind of voice to me also, because I do believe that this is a team effort as far as it's not just the patient, it's not just the doctor making the decision.
I learned in talking to people that Dr. Wachuku was a doctor who did anterior versus posterior, which I was really interested in because recovery time is shorter, especially driving, which was important to me. So I was mostly interested in anything that was going to be easier and a shorter recovery.
There are certain things that we utilize to make sure that we have the appropriate placement of the implants. These are things that will kind of, one, help the patient to keep that hip stable so it doesn't dislocate. And also, the technology-assisted hip replacement allows us to really add something that's going to better improve the outcomes for our patients. For the most part, it gives ease to the operation in that we don't have to do multiple trials to get the perfect fit.
Everybody at Ortho from A to Z was extremely helpful. And I was physically out of the hospital shortly after lunchtime on the very next day.
Sue, after her hip surgery, she progressed very quickly. Even despite her age, she was very active for the period before that. That sets you up super well after the surgery. She was walking with nothing 15 days to 3 weeks after her surgery. Now she's pushing me to get on the spin bike and do this and do that, and it's almost with something like that to try to hold them back a little bit. Sue's gonna be able to do pretty much everything that she was doing prior to the surgery. She'll be able to walk, bike ride, she'll even potentially be able to run after the surgery.
My surgery has changed my life because I felt like it was going to make me feel old. I felt like it was going to slow my lifestyle down. It hasn't really changed my life that much. It's actually better because I'm doing that pain-free now. St. Luke's Ortho and St. Luke's PT has really helped me get back on my feet pain-free.
Joining me today is Dr. Douglas Lundy. He's chair of the musculoskeletal department and an orthopedic trauma surgeon for St. Luke's University Health Network. Thanks for being here, Dr. Lundy.
Thank you very much, Ashley.
Tell me a little bit about your practice as an orthopedic surgeon and what first sparked your interest in the field and specifically trauma.
I've been an orthopedic surgeon. I finished my fellowship in 1999, so I've been doing it for quite a while. It's one of the most rewarding fields, I think, within medicine. We have the ability to really help people with activities of their daily living, get them back to walking and physical activity and their occupations and being with their family and doing things they enjoy, restoration of function, reduction of pain. It's a pretty exciting field that a lot of us have gone into. And
it's really nice to hear your enthusiasm and your passion around the field. And you mentioned the ability to reduce people's pain, get them back to their normal lives. When should someone who's experiencing pain, especially from a joint or a bone, seek an orthopedic surgeon or a consult? Because I'm almost always surprised how often people are living in pain. When did they come see you?
We're happy to see anybody at any time for any questions or concerns that they have. We take a significant amount of referrals from the primary care doctors and providers who are certainly a huge resource for that. If you don't know what it is that with the options that we have available for you, you're just living in pain, just come talk to us. And we can many times knock down barriers and show people different things and sometimes very easy things that we can do that can dramatically increase function and reduce pain.
Well, you mentioned people's concern around surgery, and I do think that that is a barrier of why people often don't seek help, but there are so many techniques. How has technology really helped improve your practice and the orthopedic practices in general to offer the types of options that are really out there now?
The whole practice of medicine and surgery specifically over the last 10 to 15 years especially has really driven hard down into what we call the value-based outcomes. So we really look hard at things going, is what we're doing, number one, of significant interest to patients? And then the second thing that we do is we critically look at a lot of the things that we do. There's a lot of great ideas in medicine and surgery that don't quite pan out. So for instance, the hyaluronic gel injections that we do for knee arthritis. When I first came out, we thought that was the be-all, end-all. What we found out was that there was a limited group of people that it worked well in and other groups of people that it didn't. So by helping us narrow that down so that the people that are getting those injections are the ones that it helps. And when you see the orthopedic surgeon or the rheumatologist or one of our other specialists, they can explain why that may be good for you or may not. In terms of other technology, it advances in surgery that occurs on an annual basis. It's a big jump forward every year. For instance, one of the exciting things we're doing now in knee replacement is using these robotic knee replacements. So the robot does not do the surgery. The surgeon, him or herself, is doing the operation, but the robot helps give feedback to the surgeon to balance the knee so that the knees do much, much better.
There are so many new technologies within surgery. What about recovery? What do you want patients to know about the recovery process? Because I can remember my dad having a knee replaced 25 years ago and being in 2 weeks of rehab and having it done again recently and being up and walking literally that afternoon. It was unbelievable difference. So talk to me about the post-surgical care that St. Luke's can offer.
You will do better. The vast majority of people will do better sleeping in your bed, in your house, with your family, than being in the hospital after these operations. A lot of other cool things that we have now, if you think about it, it's all the function of prehab, or in telling people how they're going to get along on their post-operative knee or hip. And then secondly, pain relief. And what we found is that giving people large doses of narcotics and everything does solve the pain, but it knocks them out in terms of being functional. So we've got a lot of really exciting things that our anesthesia colleagues are doing now to specifically knock out those nerves around the knee on a temporary basis, or the hip on a temporary basis, so that after surgery, people don't have this discomfort.
Well, that is all really good news for patients here in the Lehigh Valley. Dr. Lundy, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for having us on.
Isn't that great? It looks like she is back to her normal routine and can keep up with her family. I'm Mike Mittman. Thanks for watching. To learn more about anything from today's show, go to our website at thepeaktv.com. And remember, every day is an opportunity to be your best self. This is The Peak. Thanks, Holly. You're welcome.
How does it feel, Mike?
I don't know. That's what pain-free. See how...
Car alarm.
Portions of this program were paid for by St. Luke's University Health Network. The Peak TV is a production of ASR Media.
If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel.
To see more of the Peak TV, check out our website, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and catch us on WFMZ Channel 69.